Alright, we are here to solve the equation x squared plus 2x over x equals 6 over x plus 1. So, to start out with, we are going to notice that the fraction on the left-hand side, the x squared plus 2x over x, has an extra x in it. So we are going to factor out an x. So on top, you're going to get x, and then that'll be x plus 2 all over x, which will then equal, if you cross out the x's, x plus 2 over x. So, by replacing, x plus 2 over 1. So, by replacing that with your x squared plus 2x over x, you're going to get x plus 2 over 1 equals 6 over x plus 1. Now, we're going to use our cross multiplication that we learned, and you're going to basically just like draw an x over the equal sign, so we know that 6 has to be multiplied by 1, and the x plus 2 has to be multiplied by the x plus 1 in order to solve this. So, we will end up with x plus 2 times x plus 1, which will equal 6 times 1. Alright, so now we can simplify that down to x times x is x squared, x times 1 is plus x, 2 times x is plus 2x, and 2 times 1 is plus 2, and that'll equal 6. Now, we all know that in order to factor this out, we are going to need to set our equation equal to 0. So if we simplify this down a little more, you're going to get x squared plus, well, 2x plus x is going to equal 3x plus 2, but we're going to subtract the 6 to get our 0 on the other side. So positive 2 plus a negative 6 is going to be a negative 4, so it'll be minus 4 equals 0. Now we are set to solve and factor this out. So you're going to put your parentheses like that and set it equal to 0. Well, we have x squared, so we'll know there's going to be an x in each one. And we have a negative sign here. And the negative signs means that you're going to have in one of your parentheses, you're going to have a positive, and the other one's going to be negative. Now let's say this negative was a positive, the second sign was a positive sign, then we know from the first sign that both of the signs in our parentheses would be positive. But for right now, we have the second sign as a negative, so we have a positive and negative in our parentheses. So now we need to look at the factors of 4, which is 2 times 2 and 1 times 4. And out of those two sets of factors that we know, which one of them do we know could give us a 3x? Well, if we have a positive 4 here and a negative 1 here, if you would factor this out, if you will FOIL this out, you will see that you'll get a positive 4x minus an x. Well, 4x minus x is positive 3x, so that is what we want. So now we have our two sets of equations, the x plus 4 and the x minus 1, and they're both equal to 0. So we can separate those out as an x plus 4 equals 0 and an x minus 1 equals 0. Therefore, we know that x equals a negative 4 if we would solve for the x for this equation. And if we solve for the x on this equation, we know that also x equals positive 1. And those are our answers. And to check those answers, we can plug a negative 4 back into our original problem and make sure that each of our two fractions equal each other, as well as we can plug in the positive 1 and make sure that our fractions equal each other. And they do.